Happy Sunday, everybody. It is the Sunday Morning Pep Talk, and I am Jenny Hensley, co-owner and effectiveness coach with Dynamics, and I'm very excited again to have
Tom Fry.
Who is...
I'm very excited to be here as well. Absolutely.
And is also a co-owner and effectiveness coach with Dynamics. So we do these pep talks every week because our goal is to help you reclaim your time so you can reclaim your life and absolutely love your work again. And our hashtag is Stop Bad Meetings. Today we're going to deal with a topic that we feel is timely, which is how to have difficult conversations. And I see Dwight. Hey, Dwight, good morning. So we're going to just start off by, I'm going to share with you our tips. And Tom can't see them, but we have them at the bottom. So if you want to talk about, first of all, before we ever get anywhere near having a difficult conversation, relationship is super important. Talk a little bit about that, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, you have to start to build a relationship early on that people realize that you're there to support them, that you care about them. It's hard if the first conversations you start to have with someone, especially if it's subordinate, maybe with a difficult conversation, is about, is critical and something they need to improve. It's hard for us to hear those things. So I need to believe that that you care about me first.
And there is a great book called Radical Candor, and we will have a mini book report on it coming up. But if you have a difficult conversation coming up, just Google Radical Candor, and there are there are a million great videos that you can look at. You can have short ones, or you can see her TED Talk. And this is her book. I have it here so I can put it up for you. And it just is so to the point and really straight on about the fact of how to give good feedback and also have personal conversations. So, the second thing that you need to think about is dealing with whatever you're having a difficult conversation about, whether you're having a evaluation conference or a teacher having a difficult conference with a parent. You have to be very, very clear and deal with the issue in the moment.
Yeah, and to that end, I just find two things about that. First off, the longer you wait to have a difficult conversation, the fuzzier the details get, and it makes it harder for you to want to have it. Difficult conversations are never easy. They're never fun. No matter how often you have them, you're never going to get to the point where you're just like, wow, I can't wait to have this difficult conversation. They won't become easy. It'll become easier to have the conversation because you'll have more tools in your tool belt on how to share that open and honestly. But you want to have it as soon as possible. The other issue is that, let's say I need to have a difficult conversation with Jenny. If I decide it's Friday, I'm just going to wait till Monday. I'm going to hold the weight of that, and I'm going to be stressed at some level about that and thinking about it, maybe even subconsciously, the entire weekend. Jenny, however, doesn't even know the conversation is happening, so it isn't impacting her life at all. So for your own well-being, you want to have that conversation early and as soon as is humanly possible so that it's better for your own well-being.
Well, I think, too, that it doesn't have to always be this very formal, heavy conversation. If you go back to Radical Candor, it's just being candid. So, if you're in a meeting and somebody says something that is, inappropriate or is something that you want to address, pull them aside and just talk a little bit about the meeting, listen to them, and then deal with that situation right then.
No, I think that's absolutely perfect. I can't even think of a conversation I had once with an administrator, and the point was I was coming into with him was I'm trying to help you so that because he didn't realize what he said was maybe someone might have taken it the wrong way, and it helped him from putting himself into a spot where folks felt maybe got the view of him too. So absolutely.
So the next one goes kind of along with that, but the idea of no surprises. And this is, and I think it's the fact that when you do have the bigger conversations, when you are in an evaluation conference or in a bigger conversation, you don't want somebody to be hearing something that is brand new to them, especially if their job is on the line, or with parents if you're talking about their students and their learning. You don't want it to be a surprise. And you always do this great thing when we talk about this with staff and about the golden rule. So can you talk a little bit how
so
that
you just want
applies?
to treat people like you'd want to be treated. So, which actually goes to both bullets. One, I don't want to wait until the end of the evaluation when I have no time to correct what it is that I'm doing that maybe isn't up to par. So absolutely, you want to treat people like you want to be treated. So you would want to have as much time as possible to correct whatever it is that you're doing that is maybe not at the level it needs to be. So do the same thing for your folks. Just treat them like you'd want to be treated. Open, honest. Don't surprise them at the end, and give them plenty of time to correct those things.
So they really all work together. I mean, if you're having conversations all along, both good and bad, giving people feedback all along, and then you get to a conversation where you're in a bigger, higher stakes conversation, it's all going to be beneficial. So, the last one is, and it sounds very, I don't know, like, duh, but, be honest and clear. And this is my opinion, but we've been given, a lot of us in leadership have been given this idea of doing a sandwich effect when you have to have a difficult conversation, that you say something positive and then you say something negative, not negative, but you give the feedback and then you say something positive. So it's sandwiched in between two positives. In my experience, that doesn't work because people have trouble hearing difficult feedback anyway. And if you sandwich it, they're going to remember the positive things and they might not even pay any attention to the whole point of the conversation.
Absolutely. I think without a doubt, be honest and clear. And I think also don't try to say too much. I think at times when we try to say too much, we actually go and get more fuzzy and less clear because it's difficult. It's difficult sometimes to give someone critical feedback. Obviously, folks are trying to do their best job, and so when they do something that falls short of that, it's typically not intentional. But it's just get to the point, be honest and clear, and then stop talking.
Well, and also, you're breaking up a little bit, but the golden rule goes with that too, which is you want people to be treated the way that you would want to be treated. So if you need to improve something, you want to know it so that you can actually make those improvements. So those are our tips for having difficult conversations. We hope this video was helpful, and it really help us if you'd like and share it with your colleagues and people who may be getting ready for these difficult conversations. We're getting towards that part of the year where we're having conversations about performance and we're talking about placements for next year and all of those kind of difficult, heavy conversations. So we hope it helps. Also, #StopBadMeetings, and we will be back next week for the pep talk at 10 a.m. on Sunday. I don't know if Tom will be here, but I'll be here. So have a great day. And as I always say, if you're lucky enough to have today off, please take the time for yourself. Don't work. Spend time with your friends and family, and have a fabulous Sunday.